in the previous video, I talked about alignment, awakening, alignment, and execution. What was your first experience of awakening? Mine is a true life story. It's not a fiction. It happened to me, and there were so many people who are still very much alive that were there, witnessed the whole scenario. The only person that is not there was my cousin, who of blessed memory is no longer alive. But my sister, her friend, my pastor, as of then, everybody witnessed it because it was so loud. I was sleeping and suddenly, physically, it felt like a light, a very bright car light, like a car faced me. That kind of flashness that a car light can flash you. I felt it right there in my bed directly. And when I opened my eyes, I woke up, I was vibrating, I was speaking in tongues, I was having prophetic messages. I picked my phone to call the woman I had a message for. She said before I called her, she also felt that light, and that was what woke her up. And she told her husband, and they were praying before I called her. And I told her, this is what I saw, just opening my eyes right now. This thing was in the midnight. After that message, I gave her messages. I was vibrating, I was speaking in tongues, like I was vibrating on the bed, like kind of. I couldn't sleep all night. In the morning, I just grabbed something to wear and quickly ran to the church. There's this prophetic church, a small prophetic church I used to attend then. You know, this is the same thing I was talking about, having a leader who helps you to control, teach you, to guide your gift and everything. I was in the church, I was in a prophetic church, but I was boxed to the choir. I was actually leading the choir. All the years I was in that church, I was in the choir. My prophetic gift was showing forth, but nobody was able to guide me in that aspect. And I was in a prophetic church. You see? So I went to the pastor. Luckily for me, he was in the church that day. And I saw him. I was speaking in tongues. I was vibrating. And I told him what I'm going through. Truthfully, he told me that what I'm facing is the manifestation of my call, that I should go home and stay in isolation. I should not go out. I should stay indoors and just be asking God to show me mercy, that I'm going to do what he wants me to do. Me, before that time, my sister and I and my late cousin, we had like an end of the year party. Her fiance then, the social club where they belong, they were going to close for the year, so they had like a very big party. I had already bought clothes that I want to wear. I had already bought shoe. So for you to now tell me to go home and sit down and be thinking about my life and be begging for mercy, the young me then did not understand that kind of instruction, because why would you tell me such party why I don't prepare for? You can't tell me say make I no go. So I did not listen. I didn't know what was happening to me. Maybe if he had given me an in-depth explanation of what was happening to me, maybe I could have taken it serious. But as of that time, I used to be a very, very stubborn person. Like my head no day house. Very decent, yet very stubborn. Like I had a very strong mind. And even if you tell me anything from here to tomorrow, if that's a way I want to, that I go to. So I went home. I didn't listen. In the evening, we all got dressed, went for the party. Getting to the gates of that place, the first person that greeted us, immediately the guy and his friend, immediately the friend's hand touched me. That thing started. Wham. I gave him a very strong message that shook him. He looked at his friend. He said, how did she know this? I never told even you this. So if I had told you this, I would have assumed you told your girlfriend, who told her sister. The friend said, I never knew this too. He was like, wow, this is actually what I am about to do. That would have been the point where I would have gone out. I returned back home, but I proceeded that I want to stay in that party. I couldn't enjoy that place. Everything in me was just like I was vibrating, I was uncomfortable, I was prophesying like a loose tap of prophecy. Anybody that near me would just collect prophecy. It was raw, it was terrifying, it was embarrassing, it was shameful. Now at that point, I told my sister I need to leave here. But being somebody, when I was growing up, I'm just person that I love to dance. I love loud music. Now, it's worthy to note that before I got to this point, something happened. But before I tell what happened, let me just explain it. I told my sister, I said, okay, I don't want to go home. Let us go somewhere and dance. You know how the loud noise in the club is, I think that also triggered the whole thing I was going through, because at that point it became worse. We went to the club. Immediately we stepped into the club. I hadn't even sat down. I went straight to the bathroom. Let me go and ease myself. And then I met a lady there. You know, all these girls in the club who walk in the club and all that. Immediately I saw her. I was like, ha, you, look at what you did. And you are here. By the time I finished giving that girl the message, she was so terrified. She was like, who are you? How did you know my past? How did you know what I did? How did you? And she was so angry. This girl, you know how this kind of girls can be. This girl carried bottle. My sister had to rush into the bathroom when she heard the noise. I held me. She was like, I will break your head. So who are you? Are you a spy? Where did you come from? How did you know something that happened in my life when I was a teenager? And you are telling me to my face, that child is this, that child is that. It was so raw. I was even scared. I was still vomiting the prophecy. I was still telling her, you did wrong. Go back and look for that child. Go did. It was horrible. My sister was like, Joy, these people go break your head. No, come on for here. My sister and my cousin rushed me out of that place immediately. Took me in a taxi. While I was in the taxi, it was as if nobody could hold me. I was the taxi man. I was giving him prophecy. The taxi man didn't even collect transport, his fare from us at the end of the day, because of all the free prophecy he got. Now, my sister was like, okay, as this matter don't be like this now, we can't take her home, because it was as if I was going crazy. I was losing my mind. Let's go back to the church. You know, with all the short gown, you know, party outfit I wore, I landed in the church. The only thing that saved me that day is that my pastor slept in the church. Immediately he saw me, he started praying for mercy. He was praying for mercy. He said, Lord, have mercy on her. Lord, have mercy on her. It took a while, like after some hours of prayer, before I began to calm down. I began to calm down. They had to put a mat on the floor for me to sleep. The next morning, I went home. I had a bath, changed into a more decent clothes, and came back to the church. This thing happened to me for 1 week. While I was in the church, people were coming. I was giving free prophecy. Like, people were even laughing at me that this one, you are running away from your call. You will see yourself. You know, I didn't understand what I was going through. Now, what happened to me is alignment, is awakening. After that awakening, if I had aligned immediately, by now I could have been very at the another level of my execution. But because I did not have full knowledge of what I was dealing with, the people I surrounded myself with, the pastors and prophets I surrounded myself with, when I called them, they would be like, you have to answer your call. No direction, no blueprint, nothing. I was so young. The gift was so raw and powerful, much bigger than me. I didn't know how to handle it. Now, because of that awakening I had, I couldn't control myself. That prophetic messages you see releasing themselves like that was as a result of a long-term resistance. I had resisted for so long that by the time it wanted to come out, it had to force through so many resistance. And at that point, I was supposed to be isolated, but I was not isolated. Now, imagine if I had gone straight to execution with this kind of level. You know that I would have been a disaster and a problem, not just to others, but to myself. I had to go through the long phase of alignment. Alignment took me, this thing I'm telling you, as of 4 years ago, it still happened to me, even here in the country where I am. I have friends who can witness it. I had a very traumatic marital conflict that made me to say, okay, I'm done. And I needed to ease my head before my brain colo. I went out with my friends. That place where we went to, I was prophesying from morning till I came back. Oh my God, it was a mess. So this is when I began to understand that because of the call, the kind of gift I have, there are certain places I cannot go, especially when I have not gained total mastery of how to control this gift. Now, this is awakening. In case you want to know what awakening, I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to tell you what happened next after this period.